elements. They are actually all connected. We all have flesh which wants to live well. Our soul wants to learn. The spirit wants to love. Finally, we have the environment. You need to quickly memorize this. The environment is where we want to contribute in life. When these four are equally achieved, you would be living a balanced life. And you have to achieve it. Now, according to the law of the minimum, if your life becomes unbalanced, for example, by not being healthy, then your life will become unhappy. If you're healthy but don't have money, that can also cause a misery. You have money and everything else, but if you got there by lying and going against your conscience, then your life will only ever be as good as the lowest level. Thus, you need to live a life where all four of these elements are satisfied equally. Now, these four areas are actually in harmony together and not separate. So it becomes meaningless if you focus on them individually. For example, there are people who say what good is just living well. However, you need to live well because of the people that you love. If you're poor, then your children, your spouse, and your parents who pass away after worrying about you are affected, as they will all have to deal with it as well. This could lead to your children worrying about it, and then even committing suicide because they can't overcome that difficulty. Even if they don't commit suicide, they might break down, become disappointed, and lack energy. If you want to give them strength, you need to be living well. But to do that, learning becomes necessary. Everything stems from living well. People who are weak are like that because they lack love. With a tool like Atomy, your academic background, your looks, your age, your capital, your experience, and your skills don't matter as long as you have the passion. Atomy provides the ladder that will lead you to success. However, there are people who still don't try. And that's because they lack love in their hearts. Your thoughts needs to be, do whatever you want with me. I'm ready to sacrifice anything for my loved ones as long as there's a way for us to live well. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to get there. That's how ready your heart should be. Are your hearts and minds prepared? Your answers lack energy. Are you ready? You need to live well for the people that you love. I married my wife because I love her very much. I followed her around for a year before I married her. I worked as a salaried employee and quit after 17 years because there was no retirement plan. So I started my own business. I started an online shopping mall. But since it was 1999, it was a comprehensive online shopping mall with over 10,000 items. But at that time, it was hard for older women to purchase. So I went bankrupt after 3 years. My house and my car got repossessed. We had to move into a small rental and had little to eat. I got a liver disease and my diabetes got worse. My doctor friend told me that I had to stop working as well. Since I couldn't go out and make money, my wife had to work, but do you know how much she got? She could only make $1,500 a month. In Korea, a 50-year-old woman can't make more than that. She would take what she made and paid our rent. With whatever was left, she would use it to make lunch for the kids and send them to school. One day I came home and it was really cold. So I told her to turn on the heater since it was so cold. And she just said, "You don't think I know that?" That was her response to my request. which meant that she, too, was shivering from the cold and that she couldn't have turned it on if I was making money. I responded with, you need to use money when you don't have any, so turn it on. That's when the world around her collapsed. My wife, who would just laugh it off before, started telling me how, due to my choices and actions, we were in this situation where we had to live in this cold, small rental place. Our relationship got worse as we continued to argue. I got to the point where my wife said, let's separate after our kids graduate. Now, my wife is something who does what she says. When I heard these words, my world came tumbling down. My knees became weak and I fell to the ground. I grabbed onto my wife's leg and I couldn't stop crying. I told her, please, don't leave. I can't just let you go like this. If you go now, you don't have a house to live in, no funds for your retirement. How will you survive? If you're going to leave, at least wait until I can give you a house and money for your retirement. I can't let you leave like this, so please don't leave just yet. And all she said to me was, when? I have now bought her a house and put retirement money into her personal account. But she never tells me when she will be leaving me. Actually, we are never apart at home. I massage her legs and feet and her shoulders. We argue about who will massage who. Our sons tells us, you guys are just too much. We are living really well now. Thus, you need to live well, especially for the people that you love.